Ursoc's Fury Remembered is the best legendary power for tanking druids, for guardians. Today I'll show you very quickly how I crafted one, how I obtained it, and I'll give you the exact numbers and exact situations that will demonstrate just how good this power is. If you are a Guardian Druid looking for the best legendary power, this is a very short, very quick video for you that will tell you why you need this. Let's go! Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gyro, I'm your host here. Today, particularly warm welcome goes to my Guardian Druid friends who are wanting to improve their Guardian tanking duties, tanking abilities in Mythics, LFR and whatever other casual content is casual content for your tanking level. So I tank LFR, I tank low Mythic plus keys, and beyond that I get too bored, and to me the investment of my efforts and dealing socially with people, some of whom are nice but a lot of them are not so nice, for me the return on investment kind of diminishes very quickly. That's why I don't push too high ever. I just switch to another alt and that's how I play. You don't have to do the same thing. One thing that we have in common is the fact that if you're a Guardian Druid, you will have to agree, after doing research beyond my video, take a look at Wowhead, they agree as well, that Ursoc's Fury Remembered is considered to be the best legendary power right now in the early Shadowlands expansion. What does the power do? Well, power is fantastic. It has a 13% chance for your Thrash that you use all the time to trigger another Thrash. And 75% of all damage done by Thrash will be converted into an Absorb Shield. It's awesome. It's awesome, really. The only thing that's remotely comparable to it by usefulness or whatever is the Luffa-Infused Embrace power. That is a little easier obtainable, and we'll talk about that, and you can just get it from a dungeon. So that's cool. So chances are that average Guardian Druid out there would have gotten the Luffa-Infused Embrace before they get the Ursoc's Fury Remembered. I was going to push for the Luffa's Embrace, but then I did my research in the background and I was like, no, I'm gonna hold off, because Soul Ash comes fairly scarcely and from the most boring, from the most annoying experience that there is in the game right now, which is Torghast, sadly, for me. So Luffa's Embrace would be doing 20% increased damage and has 30% increased radius, thrashing everything, and can stack one additional time. It's so tempting. But I still think personally, and Wowhead researchers agree, who do it a lot more for a living type of thing, they agree that the Absorb Shield that Ursoc's Fury Remembered gives you is something that exactly puts it ahead of everything else. Plus extra Thrash does extra damage, whatever it is equating to. Take a look at my table of contents, drag the cursor as you normally would in the YouTube video timeline if you are running out of patience and you want to just see the numbers, so get towards the second half of the video. But here I'll just once again tell you that Ursoc's Fury Remembered, you can get it from the end boss of Cold Heart Interstitia, may it burn in hell, because it's my least favorite wing of Torghast, and I say it as if I have favorite wings of Torghast, which I don't. I think Torghast is a barren void of fun, emptiness that I hate at the moment. Yes, I'm making no apologies. I'm a very passionate, very dedicated World of Warcraft player who is deeply disappointed in Torghast, and yes, I'm using my channel any chance to broadcast this in a non-toxic way, but hopefully this is seen as feedback by someone who may influence it going forward and change this horrible experience for us casuals. Okay, so Cold Heart Interstitia, boss number 3, end boss. You can do it in a group, you can do it solo. Take a look at my video, just very recent video for Feral Druids, where I was talking about how I did it, how I obtained Ursoc's Fury Remembered, which was fantastic, good run, fairly intense. I would dare say there was an element of fun just in the challenge, in the level of challenge there. But I would not want to go back there, and now that I have Ursoc's Fury Remembered, I won't. Once you have the Ursoc's Fury Remembered, before I talk about LFR, you craft it. Naturally, you go to a rune crafter, you have a couple of missives, you have either crafted or bought from the auction house, you bought the vessel or the piece of gear, the baseline item, and you put the Ursoc's Fury Remembered on it. Wonderful, fantastic, good on you. I put them on my legs, on my leggings. Now, straight after that, I went to test it and to see how it performs in LFR. I did not specifically go as far as going first without pants. That sounds weird. I'm saying without legendary pants, yeah? So I did not record one go with all the numbers without pants and then with pants. So, but regardless, when I am doing it with pants, you can take a look here. I am deliberately keeping and mousing over my recount damage meter, and I'm showing to you how much absorb is being done by me, and you can see that I'm head and shoulders above everyone else in the raid, Death Knights, whatever. Only one Disciplined Priest, whose job it is to produce absorbs, only the Disciplined Priest overtook me at one point. But other than that, I think that the Ursoc's Fury Remembered contributed to my absorbs tremendously. Generally, I never felt in particular danger. I paid attention particularly at that little buff that popped up in the top right corner of the screen. I moused over it a few times, just to see, is it proccing? Is it proccing often? How often is it proccing? Type of stuff. And generally, I was very pleased. I thought it gave me a feeling that it does something. It's not like one of those rubbish powers, for example, like my tanking Demon Hunter got. The one that is has 20% chance to make Fell Devastation free. Okay, it's good, but it feels like it barely procs every 5th time of me using Fell Devastation, and Fell Devastation is on a 1-minute cooldown. That is just to give you an idea that some legendary powers are very much less legendary. They don't feel legendary. This thing feels freaking legendary, and it feels great actually when I see it. Now, Mythics. So I've done Mythic +0, baseline Mythic, whatever, but I'm not overgearing content. I'm in whatever it was, 173 or something, 172, 173, with pants on already. So when I went with pants and I did the Spires of Ascension just now with the group, it was a good experience, so it was actually fine, yeah. And so the overall damage that I took, yeah, and you have to believe me here, I extracted it from the recount. I can't be bothered putting it on the screen, but if you can see there when I'm mousing over recount, go ahead. I'm just gonna tell you. So overall damage taken through the whole run was close to 3 million. So it was 2 million, I'm reading from a sheet of paper here, 2,991,000 damage taken. Total damage absorbed by me as a tank was 692,417. So that's quite a substantial absorb happening. But that's not just Ursoc's Fury Remembered proc. Ursoc's Fury Remembered ability proc contributed to 42% of that damage absorbed. So substantial, almost half of the damage absorbed came from that thing. If it means anything to you, so that's pretty freaking good. So, and overall absorb, if you think about just, okay, let's just go back to how much damage was absorbed in general versus almost 3 million damage that I took in Mythic +0. That's almost quarter of all damage that was absorbed, and almost half of that quarter has been contributed to by the Ursoc's Fury Remembered Legendary Power. If that's a good enough science for you, number proven science, pseudoscience that shows to you why Ursoc's Fury Remembered with that absorb shield that procs from Thrash is awesome, there you go, my friend. So that is why. If you are at all interested in the damage component, I have also extracted those numbers, but to me they are a lot less interesting because I don't think that we as tanks are particularly known to be the damage contributors. We're not one of those high DPS tanks out there, but anyway, for what it's worth, I can tell you, overall I've done 1,711,000 damage in this run of Mythic +0, and that was, I was in number 4, yeah, and I have contributed to 19% of damage done by the group, so almost 20% of damage done by the group. Look, it's nothing to write home about, which is why I said that's not my job. My job is to absorb stuff and make sure people don't die, and they didn't much. And Thrash, so that is the interesting part. Thrash from direct thrash damage and the DOT, the damage over time component, together contributed to 27%, so it's my top damaging ability, and it contributed to 27% of overall damage that I've done as a tank. For better or for worse, however much I've done, however little I've done, that's the component for you. So this is just all to present a case forward to tell you that while Luffa-Infused Embrace is a definitely more accessible, awesome legendary power that anyone can get, it's probably the go-to, easy to get tanking druid power that probably would be a first power for a lot of people. But I think the price on the Soul Ash is pretty high. And for me, because I hate Torghast with a passion and I have better things to do in my life, including World of Warcraft, including playing on my alts, I don't want to grind another 1250 Soul Ash just to craft yet another legendary. I don't. I will when they allow us to equip 2 legendaries. Then I think Ursoc's Fury Remembered and Luffa-Infused Embrace together would be like an awesome, freaking awesome combination. I can't wait for that. That makes me excited as a possibility. But we're not there yet, my friends, which is why we play other games, we play other alts and talk to each other like this in a casual format. That's it for today. I hope I've inspired you to start soloing Cold Heart Interstitia level layer 3+ to get yourself your hands on Ursoc's Fury Remembered and to make yourself a much better druid tank. If you enjoyed this, hit like, tell YouTube that you enjoy my content, stick around, subscribe for more videos. Videos are being released twice a week. See you later. Bye bye.